All honor the feel, all honor the mindset. Yeah, man, been finding balance, dealing with our own little situations. All honor also. All the folks that came out in solidarity. Just to jump straight into it. DEFCON, how you feel about 10 bodies? Buffalo, the shooting. Cool, no problem. I saw the video. I watched the video. Then I scanned the manifesto. Came to this conclusion here. 17-year-old Kyle, this one here, 18, dialing rule 21. All right. They didn't come up in those times. You know, the times of the original birth of a nation, Reconstruction process, you know, Jim Crow, black laws like him, saying how black folks taking their job, taking their women, when he clearly lives across town in that nice big house. You see how far he had to drive to go over there to those Negroes to find him some race targets. Because if he wanted to race war, he could have went over there to the black community and shot it out with those young dudes with those extendos and 100-round drums and shit they be rapping about and what they be saying on TV and all. If he wanted to race war. But I thought about something. I say to myself, he say in the manifesto, he learned the truth through social media. He sat down during the season of COVID. Understand? So the ideology, where did he adopt it from? Where did he learn it? Was it high society? Did he get it from home? Or does he have an organization? Right? So to see a young boy at that age, 18, the other one 17, 21 years old, throwing their lives away, these are soldiers. Young soldiers like 18, 19 out there in Pakistan, Afghanistan. You hear me? But for somehow they feel like they're in a real war today. That you be the enemy, like over there in Ukraine, nigger, Asia, nigga. Every ethnic group, nationality got a word for you Negroes today, right? So when I look at it, I thought about it. I said, they killed 9 in that church, the age of those members, those black folks, not niggas, black folks. These 10, some of them 50, 60 years old, 80 years old. I thought about it. I said, those same ancestors of ours that was just slain probably walked, marched with Malcolm. You hear me? Dr. King them, during the civil rights times and all that. You hear me? Could have been activists, you know, telling what type of hell they had to endure for us to get here to this stage today of social media, and how we failed miserably because what we didn't do was break that chain. He is a part of that chain. You understand that? They're young soldiers. They're young race soldiers. We don't call them freedom fighters. Executed and took out our ancestors who was here before you and I. My mindset. That's a part of that bloodline that we didn't cleanse. We never broke it. Going back to the origins of the conscious community, the beginning from RBGs and all that, before in fact. There was many members that failed us before GMJ. We don't have to call no names and all that because they like to put that spotlight on us about in fact how we failed. And I see a lot of folks out here now talking about, oh, what if in fact or Jay was here? I'll tell you what, when you talking about the Black Panther Party, no one man come before the mission. You don't think about Huey or such and such when they come down to the party. You think about revolution, defense first and foremost. See, that's the difference between us and social media. We have come to a point where we put a character before the mission at hand. This is not a game, folks. You understand that? So I'm looking at and understanding how we are feeling, what we're doing on social media when it comes down to leadership. Who's in the driver's seat? How do you address situations like these? I say my mindset, my vision, okay, if we ain't going to get no justice, because only way you're going to eliminate racism, you have to create a law like they doing with LGBT, the Zionists and all that. You have to create a law. And they ain't going to do that. If you have to eliminate your own culture, your own heritage, they don't want to snatch these goddamn Confederate flags down and shit like that, and these monuments and all, they tripping about that. So how in the fuck they going to give you a law when you had a black president 2 terms, you still ain't got no laws yet? So we already overstand that. Let's go turn that page. So now what we're going to do, we're going to figure out what organization you're a part of. Who are you running with? Who's training you? Because the way you move when you get out that car, you move like on some Call of Duty shit. You move like you was trained. You hear me? You was trained. You have an organization. Everyone has an organization, someone that really giving them that awakening, you know what I'm saying, that spark of the brain, if you Hebrew, you're Muslim, whatever the case may be, somebody sparked you. So, who is it that gave you that motivation? Who gave you that new life, that new you, that new awakening? Like you say, you didn't see the truth. Who did you come upon? So we got to connect you to that organization. And what we have to do, we have to go straight to the doors now. We have to go straight to the sundown towns and speak to your grand master. We have to go speak to your generals, your leaders, right wingers, left wingers, I don't give a fuck what it is. We have to go to your straight leaders who's influencing you and advocating for you to come out and target us. You hear me? Our folks, as we are enemy of the fucking state. See, we've been dealing with this here. I want you to go back to the first accounts of racism if you could. In the accounts, you want to go back to the coming of Columbus, you want to go back to the Congo genocide, you want to go back to the times of Manson Musa, the first account of racism that you overstand, even to come through history or what you experienced, and move that needle up 2022. We are still in the age where we dealing with ignorance, we dealing with opposition, we dealing with enemies, and we have become our own worst enemy by way of social media. We are creating our own narratives amongst ourselves. We are showing these folks that we don't mean business. We are not serious. You hear me? And that's why I got quiet. That's why I fell back, because those like Otha Wallace came out for situations like these here. You hear me? Situations like these here. In fact, we came out for situations like these here, whether you like us or not, whether you agree or not, like Tariq Nasheed. We saw him doing a show the other night. This is why we came about. Right here, not to bicker back and forth, not to clickbait, not to be seen, not for social stardom, social fame, not for a YouTube check, this right here. Because when the lights out, when there's no more social media, there's no more YouTube, Facebook and all that, like Black Wall Street, this is what it comes down to, and they are prepared. 17, 18, 21, got bodies. Yours, our kind, 17, 18, 21, hollering gang shit. They hollering ops, they getting hit with RICOs and all that. That's why it, in fact, was important, detrimental, you hear me, to the system at hand, that great awakening. That's what we're here for. Black folks got to come from up under this illusion. You have any kind of rights here, any kind of say-so. Understand that you are behind enemy lines. You are under siege here in the land of free. You understand that? So if we don't come together now, first off, put aside the ignorant shit, the ignorance. A lot of our folks now are going for the paycheck they can be bought. Black men came with a price. You hear me? That's the issue while we're in this boat here today. Our women don't trust in us because what they done to Cohen Gaines, Sandra Bland, how they left them astray. You hear me? So we got to do better as black men, black leaders. First and foremost, we are entitled to that. Who's ever over the party, who's ever over the Nation of Islam, whoever that means, we ain't got to say no names. This is your job, this is what we signed up to do. We must apply ourselves. So the people got to come out and demand more. It's sickening to see this.